All right, well, we're going to turn now to another feature article. Taking the Heat Off the Bottom Line is the title of a feature article that we ran in Tuesday's issue of Quality Digest Daily. This piece, which was written by Patti of TÜV Rheinland, concerns ISO 50001 and addresses an issue of ever-increasing importance for today's organizations, regardless of their industry or location. Of course, we're talking about energy management and how companies can best husband these resources to improve organizational sustainability, produce goods at lower cost, and hopefully reduce their reliance on less efficient energy sources. So this is a timely topic, and one that certainly affects pretty much everyone in business today, a lot of you out there. So to dig in a little deeper on this topic, we're very pleased now to welcome Patti to our show. Hello, Patti.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you for joining us this morning, this afternoon, wherever everyone is across the world, this evening, whatever. Well, then, thanks for joining us. Let's dive right into it here. Many of us now are familiar with an environmental management system, an EMS, usually operated through ISO 14001, I think is the EMS most people use. What you're talking about here, though, is an energy management system using ISO 50001. So tell us how the two systems can complement each other and work together.
Well, they're actually very closely written. They're both built on the Plan, Do, Check, Act construct, and very similar. About 75% of the elements in ISO 14001 also are in 50001. So if you have a robust EMS, environmental management system, you will be able to be 75% of the way there in developing a 50001. Some of the elements that are different are energy review, significant energy uses, and then they get into the design and procurement. But the common elements are your policy, legal and other requirements, your internal audit processes, document control, records management. Those things are all common and very, very closely written. I believe the 50001 standard was intentionally set up to be very similar to 14001.
So people that are already registered at 14001 then would be able to look at this and work with a person such as yourself to figure out how to connect that to perhaps a registration to ISO 50001.
Oh, sure. And also, in many cases, a lot of people have identified through their EMS, 14001, energy consumption as a significant aspect. So they probably have a portion of that in place, and that will help them get the low-hanging fruit. What the 50001 will do is, instead of looking at it just from an environmental impact standpoint, greenhouse gases, use of natural resources, they are looking, instead of managing risk, you're actually looking strictly at energy consumption. So it basically takes that significant aspect from your EMS and puts it on steroids and focuses exclusively on energy management. So that, yeah, they're very, very close, and you could definitely get a fast track if you have a good, robust EMS in place in order to get the energy management system going.
Well, let's talk sustainability. It's a big buzzword, of course, many of us talk about and hear about a lot, and it's interpreted in different ways by different people many times. But how is sustainability as a term defined and understood within the specific context of ISO 50001?
Well, yeah, a lot of sustainability definitely has been thrown about, one of the best buzzwords of this decade, I think. How I look at it is, you want to be able to sustain your business mission, whatever that may be, if it's producing products, over the long term. And you also want to be able to continue, continue to operate. So you want to look at how you are operating, and will that support sustaining your business mission? Will you remain competitive in the marketplace? Will you be able to continue to produce your goods and have the material and fiscal resources to do so? That's really what I mean about business sustainability, or using the term sustainable.
Yeah, Patti, you mentioned, I believe, that the standard can help organizations go beyond, I believe you said, the low-hanging fruit when it comes to an energy strategy. What are some of the bigger picture benefits that you're seeing in the marketplace?
Well, other than the obvious benefit of reducing greenhouse gases and all that from the environmental perspective. The biggest benefit really is from a business perspective, and that is saving through reducing energy costs, saving significantly many times on your bottom line, the cost of producing your goods. The utility bills in a manufacturing scenario, and this isn't just for manufacturing, but typically in industry, your utility bills are either your highest line item cost that you have, or the second, sometimes only second to all of your labor costs. And being able to save typically 6 to 25% of your energy costs over a 3-year period would be, you'd be a hero to be able to do that. You definitely would be able to stay sustainable in the marketplace by doing this.
And Patti, we have it looks like your video is frozen, but we can hear you just fine. So we'll march forward here. The U.S. Department of Energy, as you mentioned in your piece, it's a big supporter of the ISO 50001 framework. Why is that? What is it that their data are showing about the results that come from registration to the standard?
Well, first, I think that they recognize that the ISO 50001 standard was developed by the leading experts. I believe there were about 60 in the energy management business, and they had their hand in it as well. But they also, through they've set up a program where you can get recognition, Superior Energy Performance, SEP. They do it for industry, they do it also for commercial. And in order to get the recognition, you must have to get a certified recognition, a certified ISO 50001 energy management system in place. That's at the certified level. They also have a recognition level where you have one in place, but you are self-certified in a sense. You self-declare. And what they found through this program, through the pilot parts of this program, is that the companies that were involved, and these are mostly industry, that were involved in these pilot projects have saved 6 to 25% of their energy costs within 3 years of implementation of a certified ISO 50001. I mean, this is, the savings that they were able to record was about 90,000 to close to $1 million per year annually in savings. And this is significant and certainly would help you be sustainable in the marketplace.
No question about that. Well, we're getting close to the end of our time, but I want to ask you one last quick question here. This is one that affects me and my household as well, so I'm always curious about it. The standard, specifics of the standard in terms of how it helps registrants to understand their projected energy consumption versus actual performance. How does the standard actually do that, help people do that?
Well, part of the standard requires you to set up energy performance indicators and to really take a look at the data that you get. How are you able to determine and quantify the impacts of your energy conservation initiatives or efforts? And so by doing that, you normalize your data in such a way that you are taking out of the equation any variances that are due to temperature fluctuations, production fluctuations, and then actually looking at what is your energy intensity, how much energy are you using per goods produced, per widget or whatever. And also with the internal audit process and external, if you're doing certification, there's an added layer of scrutiny that is on this data, and most companies are using this data, projected results, to be able to inform their investment decisions of what initiatives they're going to do. And being able to correlate more closely your projected versus your realized is going to help you get the next project funded as well, but also help you with a better return on investment calculation.
Well, great. Well, thanks, Patti. We're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us today and telling us a little bit about ISO 50001. We'll look forward to chatting with you again soon.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot.
Thanks, Patti. That's Patti Arms of TÜV Rheinland right there chatting with us today about ISO 50001.
There we go.
All righty.